Hi, this beginner lesson for flute is on our beginner band tune called MINOR Buns, and the link is down below in the description. You can get the free sheet music at our website, drselfridgemusic.com. This is a pretty easy beginner song. You only need 3 notes, and the song title, MINOR Buns, might sound a little bit familiar to you. It's the minor version of our other beginner song called Hot Cross Buns. So Hot Cross Buns, which you might have already played, sounds like this. And that's the sound of major. Mi, re, do. Minor buns is when we change our notes a little bit and we get this sound called minor. Has a different sound, right? Some people describe minor as maybe a sad sound or a scary sound. It doesn't have to be sad or scary. There's lots of happy songs that are in minor, but this is called minor buns. Let's take a look at our sheet music to see what notes we need for this song. The first note right here is an E flat. It's in the 4th space, and we always count up our spaces and lines from the bottom. So we have our first space on the bottom, 1, second space, third space, and the 4th space, that's an E. Anytime you have a note in the 4th space, that's an E. And then this symbol that's next to it, it kind of looks like a kind of a slanted lowercase letter B. That is called a flat symbol. That means flat. So what we have here is an E flat. Now something a little bit tricky is when you look at it, the flat comes first, right? So you might think we call it flat E, but we don't. We call it E flat. Here's an E flat. Let's look at how to play an E flat on our flute. We're going to place our fingers on the home keys. So remember, your home keys means every finger on your hand has a key that it belongs to on the flute. So our thumb's going to be on the back home key. On the top, we're going to have all of our home keys down except our first finger on our top hand. The left hand first finger does not press down the home key. So that first finger comes up. All the other home keys are pressed down, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And also we have our pinky on our right hand pressing down this key. This is actually called the E flat key right here. Sit up tall with good posture. Hold up your flute straight. Make sure you're covering all the correct keys. Band face. Center the whole of your flute right in the center of your lips. And here we go. That's our E flat. The second note we need is right here. It's on the 4th line. We count up our lines from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4th line. That is the note D. Pretty easy going from our E flat. All we have to do is pick up our right hand pinky and we're here on a D note. The third and final note that we need is right here. It's in the 3rd space. So space 1, space 2, space 3, that is the note C. This can be a little bit tricky because we're coming from the note D, and the note C, we have to lift up all of our home keys except for our pinky down here and our first finger right here. So this is the note that a lot of beginner flute players have a little bit of trouble balancing their flute, because when you go to put down just your left hand first finger and your pinky, you feel like you're going to drop your flute. If you're having trouble balancing your flute on this note C, we have a link down below to a video called How Not to Drop Your Flute, and we talk about the balance points on our flute, like our right hand thumb on the bottom, our pinky holds right here on the E flat key, and our sort of hooked first finger presses against the side of the flute to hold our flute in place when we're playing the C note. Now that we've reviewed our notes for the song, let's get started. First measure. Our first note is a half note. That's an open note with a line coming off of it. We hold it for 2 counts or 2 toe taps, and we have another half note. So we have half note, and then a whole note on C. E flat, D, C. We're going to play with a metronome. Let's go to 84 beats per minute with our metronome, and let's try playing the first 2 measures. Sit up tall with good posture. Hold your flute straight and parallel to the floor. Get set for an E flat, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, at the beginning of each note, we have to do something called tonguing, which is when our tongue, the tip of our tongue right here, taps right behind your top teeth, right where your top teeth meet your gums, just like you're saying 2, 2, 2. Do you hear that little T sound at the beginning of each note? That's called tonguing. Now let's look at the next 2 measures, and here's something kind of cool about this song. The next two measures are an exact repeat of what we just played. So we have a half note E flat, half note D, and a whole note C. So let's play it with our metronome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the next two measures, the next line of the song, we have 4 quarter notes on the note C. Ta, 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 ta. That's one note for each foot tap, or each beat in the measure. Then the next measure, we have 4 quarter notes again. This is on the note D. Ta, 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 ta. So we're going to set our fingers for a C, play 4 tas on a C, and then switch to a D and play 4 tas on a D. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I said, switching from C to D on the flute is one of the most challenging things when you're first learning how to play. So be patient with yourself. Practice moving carefully from C to D, back and forth, and make sure you're pressing down all of the correct keys. Okay, let's try the final part of this song. We take a look at the sheet music, and here's something very cool. We've already played this pattern. It's the same pattern we played for the first 2 measures and the second 2 measures of the song. We have E flat, half note, 2 beats, D half note, 2 beats, and a C whole note for 4 beats. Let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, like we always do with our beginner songs, we've broken it down into smaller parts, 2 measures at a time. Now it's time to try to play the whole song from beginning to end, and we're going to use our backing track. You can find the backing track on our website, drselfridgemusic.com, and the link is below. All right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. That was our song Minor Buns. It's in our beginner band tunes packet, which you can download for free below. As always, if you're finding it a challenge to play this song with the correct notes, or maybe your flute just doesn't sound right, go through the items on our flute checklist to make sure we're doing all the proper things to make a good sound on our flute. And remember, be patient with yourself and take your time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Now go practice.